This is an H2APAC News and Comment story about hydrogen tech, policy, and finance from Asian and Pacific nations, from our studios in sunny Southern California. Today we are talking about new or upcoming hydrogen passenger cars, SUVs, and trucks. Some are exciting, some are practical, and some are hyper-economical. Hydrogen will probably find its best use cases in heavy transportation, industrial, and chemical applications. Most people can see themselves driving a hydrogen car or SUV, but not a hydrogen mining truck or plane, at least not yet. Hydrogen passenger vehicles are mostly, but not all, FCEVs, that's fuel cell electric vehicles. But here we want to talk about the excitement and fun of hydrogen passenger cars, SUVs, and trucks, not their technical merits. Hydrogen for production passenger cars was something that GM, Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai all tried for the USA, where I live. GM and Honda exited years ago, and Toyota is shifting focus to Japan and Europe starting next year. We are sad to see you go. We will work on ourselves and hope to have you back. Most of the following passenger vehicles will be sold around the world. Hyundai will still sell a hydrogen SUV in the USA, as far as we know, and it looks like they will expand their line. So let's appreciate Hyundai. It's not easy or cheap to develop cars. Below, we talk about info on which car companies are rumored to be making hydrogen passenger vehicles, and one from China that does not make most lists. Some are announced, some are not, and some may never be made. And for you, BEV, battery electric vehicle guys, I understand BEVs are more efficient for most passenger uses, but cost of materials to build batteries, limits on how fast we can build out the electric grid, lack of charging infrastructure in mountains and deserts, and poor towing performance by current BEVs still means there is a market for FCEVs. Can't we all just get along? Here are a baker's dozen hydrogen passenger vehicles we want to talk about. The BMW X5. This SUV uses Toyota's fuel cell in their own BMW powertrain. I sat in one a few weeks back, and 100 have been made. There are 5 in the USA at BMW's Oxnard, California facility. The production car should make 400 horsepower with a range of about 500 miles. It's a beautiful SUV, and it looks to go into production, eventually. The Land Rover Defender and a Range Rover. There was rumored to be a Defender FCEV under development in 2021. That's part of Jaguar Land Rover's program to achieve climate goals, and it's supported by the UK's Project Zeus. It was said to have produced a working prototype in September of 2022. Range Rover models are also rumored, but have not had much news about them recently. No date yet for availability. The Ineos Grenadier FCEV. This SUV is built with the BMW fuel cell powertrain in the UK and already has a demonstrator unit that was shown at the recent Goodwood Festival. The production version will have awesome torque and 4 electric motors, allowing it to do tank turns. That is, turning in place with 0 radius. Ineos is a chemical company and a major producer of hydrogen. No news yet on availability, but I want one of those. Rolls-Royce. In June 2023, Rolls-Royce Motor Cars CEO Torsten Müller-Ötvös, and I hope I said your name right, talks about hydrogen cars at an Italian car show. He said Rolls-Royce, which is owned by BMW, would not use hydrogen ICE motors, but would consider exiting BEV cars altogether and switching to hydrogen fuel cell vehicles when the infrastructure is ready. Rolls-Royce makes the Spectre BEV now and will phase out ICE cars altogether by 2030, and ICE is internal combustion engines. The Pininfarina Nam X. Category? Wow, but distant dream. I saw the concept drawings, and if you like cars, as I do, I don't think you can feel dead inside looking at that design. One main point is the removable hydrogen capsules in the rear. These are 6 portable fuel tanks that allow you to just switch them out when you get low. That means you can carry extra. Toyota has a similar system available to them, with the Woven Planet's 5 kg hydrogen cartridge. Toyota has done the work on FCEV hydrogen tanks, so look to them for this tech. The Hyperion XP1. Category wow, but maybe just someday. This one came out at the LA Auto Show in 2020 and went into a production run of 300 units. You can buy one from California-based Hyperion Motors for $2 to $3 million US. It makes 2,000 horsepower with a motor on each wheel. It goes 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.9 seconds. It has a top speed of 221 miles per hour, and it has a range of over 1,000 miles on a full tank. Any questions? The Hyundai FK and Envision 74. Category: wow, but that looks possible. We went through the other two, which are out of reach for most people. But again, let's give Hyundai some love. They are out of the gate early with a hydrogen car that turns heads. This car, like the two above, appeals to my animal nature. Go fast, show off to friends, attract mates. It was revealed in September 2021 and is a rare plug-in FCEV. It makes 670 horsepower with a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of 4 seconds, with a Hyundai fuel cell and 2 electric motors on the rear wheels. It uses the eGMP architecture of the Ioniq 5 and 6 and the fuel cell and hydrogen system of the Nexo. Hyundai's costs are dramatically lowered by sharing production car parts with this new hydrogen car. Look for this car to be the preferred drifting car on Asia's mountain roads with the 2 electric motors, 1 on each rear wheel. Here, let's stop and talk about design for a minute. Above, we first talked about SUVs, a good use case for hydrogen passenger vehicles because mountains and deserts don't have much electric infrastructure. Let's see what Rolls-Royce comes out with. Will it be a hydrogen SUV? Next, we saw the Fast and Furious group that will appeal to the young and ultra-wealthy crowd. Now let's talk practical vehicles. Toyota went for the Prius crowd with the first version of the Mirai and the business person market with the second version, a complete redesign of the exterior. Version 2 is really Lexus-like. These were not bad design choices, but were either too early or didn't inspire. These next are practical and attainable hydrogen cars, if you live near charging stations. The Chang'an Shenlan SL03. This is a Chinese Toyota Mirai competitor called a compact electric executive sedan in their literature. The Chinese government, like most other governments, are promoting hydrogen. Chang'an is a major car company in China, and they are making a version of the Shenlan with hydrogen propulsion. The Hyundai Staria. Are you noticing the Hyundai trend here? The Staria is promoted in business, active family, and enhanced cargo utility versions. The hydrogen version is due out soon as we record this in July 2023, and the initial one will be the enhanced cargo utility version. It will probably be aimed at the delivery market. The Kia Carnival. The Carnival is a Toyota Sienna and Honda Odyssey competitor. It may be the first of these three to get a hydrogen FCEV drivetrain, the same one developed for the Staria. And the two vans above may start with lower numbers, but could really gain market share if governments around the world turn the screws on carbon pollution emissions. Hint: governments probably will do that. I live in California, which has already written into law a ban on new gas-power car sales after 2035, and written into law a requirement that 100% of all new medium and heavy-duty trucks sold in the state be electric or hydrogen-fueled by 2036. Many others follow California. So what would you be designing and bringing to market in the late 2020s if you were a car or truck company? The Toyota Hilux. The Hilux would make a real difference with a hydrogen FCEV, and that looks to be coming. The Hilux is very popular around the world, but is mostly sold with a diesel engine. It is the best-selling pickup in Australia and the best-selling passenger vehicle in South Africa. It is a world car, not sold in the USA, though its cousin, the Tacoma, is doing well in the US. The FCEV Hilux would use the second-generation Mirai fuel cell and powertrain, which is significantly more efficient than the first-generation Mirai. The UK government is supporting the hydrogen Hilux with £11 million for its development through the Advanced Propulsion Center, the APC. They are in testing with prototype units now. The River Simple Rasa. This car is the squeeze every drop of efficiency play. In a Rasa, you will go 300 miles on 1.5 kilograms of hydrogen, making a 250 mile per gallon equivalent. It is a two-passenger, bubble-domed, gull-winged car. Some say funky, some say odd, some say that's the future. And what do you think? Tell me in the comments below. The Toyota GR Yaris H2. I include this as the last one just because it is the odd car out. It is a 268 horsepower turbocharged V3 that burns hydrogen. It is an ICE car, that's internal combustion engine, not a common design choice. So you must go watch Rowan Atkinson talking about this car on YouTube, because watching Mr. Bean talk about hydrogen ICE cars is worth 2 minutes of your life. Go find that video. So here are my comments about all the cars above. Among widely sold hydrogen cars, the Toyota Mirai is the main hydrogen FCEV, fuel cell electric vehicle now. In an FCEV, hydrogen is pushed through a fuel cell to make electricity on board the vehicle with zero pollution. This electricity drives electric motors on the wheels. The Mirai is sold mostly in California, where I live, and in Japan. My neighbor has one, so I see it every day. He likes the car, but there are not many refueling stations yet. Hyundai also makes the Nexo FCEV now, and Honda developed systems for their Clarity FCEV, but stopped sales a while back. Toyota sold the Mirai in the US since 2014 and now has announced a shift in their strategy towards Japan and Europe. The American market has been a disappointment for this car, and interest is higher in Japan and Europe. So we say goodbye to the Mirai, but hope she will come back. Hydrogen in transportation generally is focused now on heavy transport. In the USA, we have 18-wheelers. That's 18-wheeled cargo hauling trucks that carry goods Americans want to buy from ports, train stations, and distribution centers to stores. America moves by goods on roads. Until now, electric 18-wheelers do not have the performance that hydrogen 18-wheelers can achieve because batteries are too heavy and charging times are too long. China uses battery swap technology, and Toyota and others are announcing solid-state batteries with longer ranges. But for now, a hydrogen truck beats an electric truck in performance. The price of green hydrogen should come down in the next 3 to 5 years, making the business case even better. I mention these because vehicle cost, range on a full charge, recharge and refueling stations, and operating costs are the things every vehicle owner cares about. All these are not low for hydrogen vehicles yet, but are rapidly improving. So stay tuned as some or all of these cars make their debut. We'll tell you more about them. H2APAC is news and comment about hydrogen tech, policy, and finance from Asian and Pacific nations. It is produced by TreasureBeam. We also have H2APAC Hydrogen Training and Certification and H2Tuesdays Hydrogen Industry Meetups for hydrogen professionals. Contact us through our TreasureBeam website at treasurebeam.com. That's www.treasurebeam.com.